And we're also shifting our focus to a big breaking development that's coming in. Air Force plane carrying 246 Indians evacuated from war-torn Sudan lands in Mumbai. That's a significant development. Let's listen to all the reactions that are coming on this one. All right, this is of course in terms of the Operation Kaveri by the Indian government to bring back the stranded Indians from Sudan. These are the visuals that we're getting for you. What we know is that the Air Force plane carrying 246 Indians evacuated from war-torn Sudan has landed in Mumbai. In fact, the plane which took off from Jeddah around 11 a.m. IST landed a while ago, around 3:30 is what we know so far. In fact, what we also know in terms of an official statement is that Union Minister of State for External Affairs V Muraleedharan, minutes before the plane left for Mumbai, did state that our efforts to swiftly send Indians back from Jeddah is paying.
कुछ लोगों को वहाँ छोड़ा है, अभी उसको लेने के आना है। हम सब खुश हैं और वहाँ भी हमें दिक्कत हुई थी थोड़ी, लेकिन अब कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, अपने वतन आ गए।
आपका नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम निशा विपिन चंद्र मेहता।
आपकी आंखों में हम आंसू देख पा रहे हैं।
या हम अपने वतन आ गए तो हम खुश हैं और थैंक्स टू मोदी जी, थैंक्स टू टीम वर्क मोदी जी, आपने हमारे लिए इतना कुछ किया, हम इतने खुश हैं कि कह नहीं पा रहे हैं, बस और कुछ नहीं। अब अभी बाकी है हमारे कुछ लोग इंडिया के, वो भी आ जाएंगे हमें मालूम है, लेकिन किसी को वहाँ से निकलने में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है। कोई प्रेग्नेंट है, कोई बुजुर्ग लेडी है, वो नहीं निकल पाएंगे, उसके लिए भी हमें थोड़ा खेद रहेगा। वो वहाँ कैसे मैनेज करेंगे वो भी मालूम नहीं है, लेकिन अब हमें कुछ आगे कुछ नहीं कह सकते। हम
संतुष्ट हैं?
हम बहुत संतुष्ट हैं मोदी जी के टीम वर्क से और मोदी जी से, बस थैंक यू।
All right, that was of course one of the evacuees who was on board the heavy lift aircraft en route to Mumbai. They've of course landed in Mumbai, thanking the Indian government and Prime Minister Modi while explaining how their evacuation took place from the capital of Sudan. My colleague Rishabh joins me over the phone lines for more inputs on this. Rishabh, good evening. This is of course a win in terms of for the Indian government. They've been able to get the Indians who were stranded in Sudan safely. Talk to us more on that front, and also with the fact of Operation Kaveri. We do see all these Indians who have come back, who are of course praising the Indian government's efforts as well as Prime Minister Modi's.
Definitely, if you see, this is a diplomatic marvel for India to get Indians out of such a conflict zone. The second batch of 246 Indians who are landing right now in Mumbai from Jeddah, where they were evacuated from Port Sudan using, IAF 130J as well as INS Sumedha and INS Teak. Now these people have reached Mumbai yesterday night in a charter flight of Saudi Arabian. Around 360 people also reached India. So one after another, flights are coming to India now. And as per External Affairs Ministry, 2,000 people have already been evacuated and are at safe locations either in Jeddah or Port Sudan.
Right, Rishabh, if you just talk about Operation Kaveri as well, just to draw things into perspective for our viewers, because we did hear one of the evacuees say that there are more Indians who are stranded. So how would that look now for the operation going forward to get these Indians back from war-torn Sudan?
All efforts are on. There are more buses which are right now placed in different locations in Khartoum to take further more Indians to Port Sudan, from where they'll be evacuated. This is what External Affairs Ministry has confirmed to Times Now, that more and more Indians will be brought, and by end of today, most of the Indians who want to return back to India will be either at Port Sudan or in Jeddah, and from there they will be airlifted or using marine routes brought to Jeddah, and then from Jeddah they'll be airlifted to Delhi or other locations in India.
Rishabh, just a quick follow-up question as well. We do understand that right before the evacuation did take place, Union Minister of State for External Affairs V Muraleedharan had also... All right, Rishabh, I have to...
हमारा भारत देश महान है हमारा नरेंद्र मोदी जीवे हो और हजारों साल जिए
जो तकलीफ थी वहाँ पे आप महसूस करने की थोड़ी राहत हो गई है घर पहुँचने के बाद
राहत है बहुत बहुत राहत है
एयरफोर्स ने काफी मदद की होगी आपकी वहाँ के लोकल लोगों ने काफी मदद की होगी
श्योर थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू
All right, that is okay. Another evacuee. Rishabh, we're of course hearing all these emotional evacuees as well. All right, so we'll try connecting with my colleague Rishabh to get us more perspective. But for the moment, of course, what you see is the fact that the Air Force plane carrying 246 Indians who were evacuated from war-torn Sudan has landed in Mumbai. Like my colleague Rishabh was also pointing out, this is a big diplomatic win even for the government. In terms of the number of people in this particular group are 246 Indians. In fact, under Operation Kaveri, India has been taking its citizens in buses from conflict zones of Khartoum and other troubled areas to Port Sudan, from where they're being taken to the Saudi Arabian city of Jeddah. Rishabh, just quickly talking about all the reactions of these evacuees also are coming right now and speaking to the media. They seem very emotional because, of course, the situation over there is still volatile. All right, we're getting more reactions from evacuees who have landed safely in India. We'll try getting those reactions for you as well. But what we can tell you so far is that in terms of the Operation Kaveri, under which all these Indians are being brought under, India has, of course, been taking its citizens in buses from conflict zones of Khartoum and other troubled areas to Port Sudan, from where they're being taken to Saudi Arabian city of Jeddah. Remember, in Indian Air Force's heavy lift transport aircraft and Indian Navy ships as well. Remember, INS Sumedha is also an integral part of this mission. Now, just talking about how the geographic of this challenge as well, the distance between Khartoum and Port Sudan is about 850 kilometers, and the travel time by bus varies from 12 to 18 hours, considering, of course, the prevailing situation and whether the vehicles are operating during the day or night. My colleague Arunil joins me on the broadcast for more details on this. Arunil, good evening. This is, of course, a significant development. Also, in a way, it is a big diplomatic win for India as far as their Operation Kaveri is concerned. Many of the Indians who have, of course, now reached are also extremely emotional with the fact that they have been safely rescued as well. Talk to us on that front, and also what one can expect going forward in terms of Operation Kaveri.
Well, India's External Affairs Minister has just tweeted saying that the Globemaster Indian Air Force flight Globemaster, which was supposed to get people who were stranded in strife-ridden Sudan, they have been evacuated now. Some of them, around 240 of them, have reached the Mumbai airport. Now, my video journalist Sahil will be showing you the visuals from inside the Mumbai International Airport. We are at present at the T2 terminal, where you can see different counters are being made. The counters for Karnataka, counters for different states, to which the people who have arrived in Mumbai, they will be traveling to. They have to reach these counters and fill their details, and accordingly alternate flight arrangements are being made for them. So basically they'll be segregated on the basis of where exactly they want to reach. Now, this is the second batch of passengers that has reached on Indian shores. Till now, around safe evacuation of more than 1,000 people from the strife-ridden Sudan has been successfully completed. What exactly is the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force basically are doing it? They are working in tandem. Indian Navy basically evacuates people from Port Sudan, and then they are taken to Jeddah, which is in Saudi Arabia. From there, basically these people, these Indians who are basically asking for help, they are flown to basically Delhi or Mumbai. Subsequently, they will also be taken to other airports in India. That is what the Indian government is saying. Operation Kaveri has been started on a very successful note. Many people who have been speaking after being evacuated as well, they have been saying that they were very desperate. The kind of scenes that they saw in Sudan, where basically a kind of a turmoil has been seen between the paramilitary forces and the army in Sudan, and basically it is the common citizens, be it of any origin, they have to bear the brunt. And Indians basically had pleaded to the government of India, asking for safe evacuations, asking for help from the External Affairs Ministry as well. And immediately we have seen the Operation Kaveri being launched, and the way meticulously it has been planned needs to be praised as well. Recently we had seen when the war had broken out in Ukraine as well, a similar kind of evacuation had taken place, was being done by the Indian government. Here as well, several high-profile officials, especially from the External Affairs Ministry, be it V Muraleedharan, the MOS of Minister of State for External Affairs Ministry, he's been coordinating from the ground about the evacuations that have been done and how the stranded Indians are being flown to different airports in India.
Right, Arunil, as you point that out, one of the, of course, significant points that you also did state that Dr. S. Jaishankar had tweeted saying another Operation Kaveri flight comes to Mumbai, 246 more Indians come back to the motherland. So just a quick follow-up question would be, since you did say that there are, of course, more Indians who are stranded and they're going to be getting them back, is this the plan for all the other planes also to be landing in Mumbai? If you could talk to us on that front as well. All right, we're going to try getting Arunil, my colleague, to get us more details. But what we can tell you so far, of course, in terms of the fact that the Indian nationals who were stranded in Sudan have successfully reached and landed in the Mumbai airport. These are the visuals you're seeing of those stranded Indians who have come in batch number 2. On the other hand, of course, after arriving to safety, those who were evacuated from violence-hit Sudan chanted Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and of course also thanking Prime Minister Modi. We're going to keep a close eye on that big story here on Mirror Now. But for the moment,